Bounce the rock down the court, we ready to ignite. Hop on the mic, it's the thrill of the fight. The All Sports Podcast, we gon' take flight. Analyzing every play, keep it fresh and tight. We bring the heat, never backing down. Yeah, we talking shots, we talking moves. The All Sports Podcast, we make the grooves. From the court to your ears, we got the tools. In the game of life, we breaking the rules.
This is Gabe Quinton and welcome to the NBA segment of the All Sports Podcast. Thank you guys for coming back. This is week 3. Got a couple topics that I do want to touch on today. First and foremost, shout out to the ladies. Shout out to the New York Liberty, returning to the WNBA Finals after a 76-62 victory over the Las Vegas Aces, winning that series 3-1. Aces were, looking to three-peat, and somebody check me if I'm wrong, but the last team to three-peat in major sports, if I'm not mistaken, is the Los Angeles Lakers, the 2002 team. But yeah, so the Aces will not be looking for a three-peat this year. Instead, the Liberty will be waiting for the winner of the Minnesota Lynx and Connecticut Sun matchup. WNBA Finals starts on Thursday at Barclays Center. It was a great series by the Liberty. Liberty had 12 straight home playoff wins, so they had a 12-game win streak at home in the playoffs, and they had that broken. Obviously, they had the unanimous MVP. She had a historic season, third MVP of her career, A'ja Wilson. Still in the prime of her career, turned 28 in August. So Aces aren't going anywhere anytime soon. The Liberty, though, second straight finals for them, 6-time overall, but looking to win their first ever championship. So that's something to look out for. Liberty had nothing but praise for the Aces. Some of them even saying it was almost like a rite of passage. Like, it almost made sense for them to beat the Aces on their way to the WNBA Finals. Next up, we have the 2024 Hall of Fame class. 4 inductees getting in. Just kind of want to talk about briefly some of these legends that we have joining the Hall of Fame class. We got, first and foremost, we got my boy, Big Shot Billups, Chauncey Billups. He's a player, and mind you, none of these players are going to kind of have those top 10, top 15, top 20 greatest player of all time kind of careers, but they definitely had the type of career that leaves a mark on a lot of people. Chauncey Billups being one of those guys, a little bit of a late bloomer. If you look at his stats, they're not going to blow you away. They, career 15 points per game player, 3 rebounds, 5.5 assists, a steal. Nothing out of this world, but those numbers are skewed, being that, like I said, kind of a late bloomer. So the first few years of his career wasn't really the player that he became after. Obviously, when he joined the Pistons, finished his career winning a ring with the Pistons. 2004, defeating the Los Angeles Lakers. 1 Finals MVP. He was a 3-time All-NBA player, 5-time All-Star, 2-time All-Defensive Team. Went to the NBA Finals it wasn't just that one season, mind you. They went to the NBA Finals the year after that, after the '04 season, losing in '05 to the San Antonio Spurs, Tim Duncan and the Spurs. So yeah, Chauncey Billups, Hall of Famer, well deserved. We got Vince Carter, half man, half amazing. A lot of us are, you know, well versed in his game. A two-time All NBA player, eight-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year. So many wonderful highlights in his 21-year career, 21 seasons in the NBA. 2000 2000 NBA dunk contest champion. So yeah, I mean, Vince Carter, quite honestly, is going to be one of those players that lives on, especially in Toronto, in the hearts of a lot of Toronto fans. He kind of really upstarted that franchise, obviously getting his number retired. Recently announced that, so shout out to Vince Carter. Well deserved to have his number retired for the Toronto Raptors. And yeah, 21 years, only 8 All-Stars, but the fact that he was able to kind of stretch out that career, because as we all know, he kind of started off his career with, being this high flyer, soaring through the air, and those type of players tend to not have long careers. And Vince, shout out to him. We got Michael Cooper. Who out of the players on this list is the least, I would say, offensively gifted, or that just wasn't maybe his focus. Michael Cooper was obviously a member of the Showtime Lakers. This guy was a defensive specialist. Never made an All-Star. Was an 8-time All-Defensive Team member. 5 of those time being first team. Being a Defensive Player of the Year and a 5-time champ. So shout out to Michael Cooper. And yeah, no one could say anything about a guy that was never an All-Star, but Defensive Player of the Year and 5 chips kind of speaks for itself. And then last but not least, we got Walter Davis, sharpshooter, drafted in '77, 2-time All-NBA, 6-time All-Star, and Rookie of the Year. Spent most of his career with the Suns, first all-time in points in Suns history, 15,666. And that rookie season, one of the highest points per game for a rookie ever. 24 points per game for him. So, shout out to the class of 2024. Well deserved to this class. To another member of the Hall of Fame team, we got Patrick Ewing, who was recently announced as ambassador for the Knicks. Well deserved. Knicks legend, NBA legend, Hall of Famer. Knicks leader in points, rebounds, blocks, steals, games played. Spent some time as an NBA assistant. Spent some time as the head coach of Georgetown, where he, won the 1984 NCAA championship, being drafted the following year with the first pick, spending 15 years with the Knicks, solidifying his legacy as an NBA great. Absolutely, shout out to the Knicks. I think they're making loads of moves this year. And, this one could be one that I feel a lot of Knicks fans are happy about. I'm not really too sure if he's going to throw on a uniform and play because these guys need a big. But no, in all seriousness, shout out to Patrick Ewing, 7-time All-NBA player, 11-time All-Star, first team All-NBA, member of the 50th and 75th team. So, should be an exciting season coming up. I'm not really one that's overly dissecting preseason games and overly analytical of preseason games. A lot of these teams are kind of experimenting with lineups, kind of experimenting with schemes and different things, and new guys are meshing and kind of finding that rhythm. So, but Knicks do pull out a preseason win, kind of playing a lot of their guys in the first half. Brunson, Cat, obviously Towns, kind of had that matchup with Brunson versus LaMelo. Should be a nice East Coast matchup of the guards to look out for. Hopefully LaMelo can stay healthy. Bridges and the Knicks, I don't think they're going to be... because Bridges, they're looking to extend them from what I hear, but I don't think they're gonna do it until next year. So, Knicks, in my opinion, are being smart with their moves, using their momentum and kind of leverage to their advantage. They're playing well. Things are kind of going their way right now. They traded away Randall, who was due for a max contract. They brought in Bridges, so kind of if keeping Randall, they would have had to give him a max contract, and then signing Mikal Bridges next year to whatever contract they were going to sign him to, So, I don't know. I think they're kind of making those moves for the future. Let's see how that goes. Should be fun. A lot of Knicks fans are very excited about this year. So, should be a fun year for everybody. On the other side, West Coast, we have LeBron joining Bronny. LeBron sat out first game, just a rest. They were ramping up with training camp, so he did not play the first game, but played the second game and was finally able to suit up with his son, Bronny, becoming the first father-son duo. Obviously, it was a preseason game, so they have yet to do it for the official NBA season, but it's a nice look into the future, coinciding with Bronny's 20th birthday on October 6th, and LeBron getting ready for his 22nd season, so that should be fun. I'm not really expecting too much out of Bronny. Just get better, learn from your dad, learn from other NBA players, kind of soak in the game. He is 6'2", so he's going to have to work on that jump shot, make sure he's a knockdown shooter. But he has shown lots of highlights on the defensive end, lots of hustle. So hopefully that translates to some minutes where he can maybe produce for the Lakers, who are in need of a bit of a spark plug. Closing out, a couple side notes. We got the Clippers entering a new arena, finally getting out of the shadow of the Lakers. They're going to be leaving Crypto.com Arena this year, formerly known as Staples Center. So yeah, this new arena has a whole bunch of, exciting features to it that a lot of people are waiting to see. The Clippers obviously losing Paul George to the Sixers this offseason. Kawhi's not really much to talk, so he didn't really have too much comment, but we have James Harden, who's looking to take on a larger role with that team, so that's gonna be interesting to see. Hopefully these guys can stay healthy. Obviously that's the big if, and with them going up in age and things of that nature and other factors. But on the younger side, on the kind of up-and-coming star side, I'm going to leave some of you guys with a question. Do we think that Tyrese Halliburton is going to become a superstar in the NBA? A lot of people say yeah. A lot of people say, he kind of falls short of it. I don't know. I'm on the side that he does. His play leads to team improvement. You got Pascal coming in this year from the beginning. As we all remember, he got traded halfway through the season to the Pacers, kind of ramping up that team a little bit. So I feel like with the exposure with the USA men's basketball, we always know that players come out of that kind of elevating their game a little bit. Hopefully he as well can stay healthy. We know he missed 13 games this last year due to injury. And I kind of feel like he would have missed more if it wasn't for the 65 game requirement minimum for some of these accolades that he was able to hit, being an All-NBA player. But yeah, I'll leave you guys with that question. Halliburton, superstar, question mark. You guys let me know. Thank you guys for joining me this week. And I'll see you guys next week, man. I'm gonna have some exciting topics to talk about. Let me know what you guys think.
So tune in tight, feel it, let it grow. The Sports Podcast, the show we know. Yeah, we talking shots, we talking moves. The All Sports Podcast, we make the grooves. From the court to your ears, we got the tools. In the game of life, we breaking the rules. So tune in tight, feel the hype, let it grow. The All Sports Podcast, it's the show we know. Whoa.